Hey, what is going on, fellow collectors? I'm Yogi, and I'm back with another video. And this time I'm going to talk about a vendor named Joe, who owns the company Ignition Diecast. And if you're familiar with Ignition Diecast, it may be because I've promoted his business before on my channel, mainly because he's a stand-up guy. He offers fair pricing without a ton of markup, and he supports collectors. Right? He doesn't care so much about squeezing out as much profit as he can out of each sale. He's not bulk buying to be a quick flipper. So he checks all the boxes for me when it comes to doing business with someone like that. So check out some of the things that I got from Joe over at Ignition Diecast. And then we'll go over some of the other items that I've collected over the last few weeks. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and start this presentation with a bang, shall we? I got this from Joe at Ignition Diecast at a fair price. Yep, that's right. This is the one that was dropped this year. Hard to pick up. You'll be hard pressed to find it at a box store. I have a feeling that my local diecast place called J-Card Diecast would have this, but his markup would be significant. And I believe this thing goes for probably around $20 to $25. So his markup would be 30 to 50% on top of that. And that's not what I paid for this. I paid a fair price. If you're interested in knowing what his prices are, go check out his website. I'll let him do that part of the promotion. And anyway, so this thing has the Volkswagen Transporter, the 917 Longtail, the 911R, and the 935. So great cars, and I think I'm going to open this at the end of the video. All right, so let's move on. So one of the other things that Joe does is he gives away a lot of free stuff. You know, it's not super expensive, it's not rare, but hey, it's, you know, it's the thought that counts, and he didn't have to give us anything. And I believe these here are a few examples. The Ultra Hots. I think I got the BMW, but I don't remember getting the T6. Joe, let me know. But for sure, the Dodge Charger SRT. Cool casting. It needs a lot of work, you know, as far as touching things up. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. And, of course, the Ultra Hots. I'm not a big fan of the Ultra Hots, you know, but they have a few good ones this year. Last year, of course, they had the 934B, or 934.5, and this year they have a Volkswagen Cafer Racer, so that's a really cool one. And of course the Mazda Repu is pretty cool as well. Those are the top two for me. So yeah, so the Ultra Hots, the Dodge Charger, so thanks Joe for that. And then I got the, I think this is just to complete my set, because I know I was missing it, is the 71 Porsche 911 Carrera. Pretty color. I love it. I'll probably crack that open at some point too. So in addition, the Matchbox moving parts have been really popular this year, and I think mainly because of the title of the brands that they are licensing. Look at this Lamborghini Aventador here, right? Let's go ahead and pop this open and take a look at it. And I love what Matchbox is doing with this eco-friendly casing. It's like a foam, and if you get it wet, I'm pretty sure it melts. I think I proved that already. But look at this casting. Wait, I gotta do the off-screen zoom. Check that out. And look at these. Let's see, these doors open. Yep, they swing up like a proper supercar. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's not like super high quality. It feels relatively cheap. That's a plastic base. But the wheels look okay. I think if you painted the wheels, you might get by with this. But it looks really nice. Headlights are painted. Taillights are painted. You can see the insignia. I mean, there's not much to complain about. This is the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Roadster. And then the next one is an 88 Mazda RX-7 convertible. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up, 70s and 80s kid. And these cars were all over the place in the late 80s. and because they're so slick, man. Look at this paint color. Such a great car. This was near the end of this generation Mazda, and then they discontinued it for a while and brought it back as the RX-8, which in my opinion is a monstrosity and should be forgotten forever. This here is pretty awesome. I love the color, moving parts, love it, love it. Very cool, great pricing. What's not to like? All right, the next thing I got is this right here, and this is gonna go with my Golf. You guys know how I love Golf. If you haven't seen my Golf video, be sure to click that pop-up here in the corner so you can get caught up on that video, because I talk about the history of Golf, how they are tied intrinsically with motorsports, and just about every brand is coming out with a Golf inspired livery on their cars. But look at these 2-packs this year. Of course, we're talking about the Lancia Rally and the Fiat 131 Abarth. But hey, man, the Jetta Mark III and the Volkswagen IDR. I want those two. Trucks, yeah, it's okay, I guess. But the race cars is what I'm all about. And this is fantastic. And I'm probably going to crack this guy open too. Just not on the channel. The Barbie Kool Kombi. Now, this came out earlier this year, but you will not find this on the pegs. If you do, then you live on Mars or something where scalpers can't get to you. But again, I'm going to give J-Car Diecast another shout out. He has this, but he was asking, I think, $12 to $15 for this. And this sells for about $6. So again, there's that markup of double. Very cool. I have a whole bunch of Kool Kombi. And I'm thinking about doing a video just dedicated to the Kool Kombi theme, so you can see what I have in that collection. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below on whether or not if that's something you'd be willing to take a look at and learn about the Kool Kombi and what it's all about. And then next, another Gran Turismo, the Nissan GT-R Nismo GT3. So you got a full-blown race car, race livery. I mean, look at this thing. It's fantastic. The card is awesome. I mean, it's a little on the smudgy side, but I don't know. I think I'm going to crack this one open. This one came out in 2023, and I really like it. I mean, it's got real rider tires. All the livery is pretty accurate and readable, so that's always good. So that's a nice little find there. So that's it for Ignition Diecast. And again, thank you, Joe. I mean, he didn't give me anything. Thanks again, Joe. Check him out, ignitiondiecast.com, and he'll be sure to hook you guys up with some pretty awesome stuff. All right, let's move on to something else. Okay, I want to talk about the 3-packs that are being dropped by Hot Wheels. And here's an example. I've already opened it, and I'm going to do a YouTube short on it. But these 3-packs came with pickup trucks, and really, really cool. So I bought 2 separate packs because one of them came with a GT3, a Porsche 911 GT3, so I had to get that as well. But the first truck that came with the 3-pack is this 69 Chevy pickup truck, and I love the billet grill and the chrome accents. The paint job is really cool. I love that they depicted the back window accurately. So this is a really nice casting. And again, pop these rivets here if you don't like it, and put some awesome tires, some custom wheels, which is what I want to talk about after we talk about the trucks, is wheel swaps. All right, so here's that one. And then here is an SVT Lightning, and I'm working on this because it was the detail wasn't all that great. Notice the taillights are not depicted very well. They're not painted in. The front as well, it may look like it has headlights, but that's me scraping off the paint in preparation of touch-up, and that's another topic that we're going to talk about. And then last but certainly not least, this is a 1952 Chevy. I mean, look, it's gorgeous. Paint job is good. A little slop here on the edging. But, you know, speaking of edging, what you'll notice most of the time in castings, let me see if I can find an example of one. Yeah, let's take a look at this 935. If you look at the seams between the perceived hood and the fenders, they're usually painted in. But in order to get an accurate looking panel line, you need to do some post touch-up work on this. And so I got my hands on an etching kit, and this little etcher right here is super thin. And what I do is I go into the seams and just scrape out the paint, right? And that gives you a more defined line. But then I take it one step further, and this is the Tamiya panel line accent pen. It's got a super fine paintbrush in there and this real thin ink, but it's meant to just, you dab it in there and it just kind of seeps into the seams there and gives you a nice pronounced line there, which is really nice. So this panel line accent color, you can get it at your hobby stores. Support your local businesses if you can get it there. If not, check out Amazon. They have a bunch of stuff like that available from those sellers. But not sure if you can notice, but I'm defining all of the lines, especially in the doors, right? And then the hood, and then the fender between the hood as well. And I'm already touching up the headlights. You could even just scrape the headlight paint off, and it would look good enough if you can get them circular. And then, of course, take these crappy wheels off, drill out these rivets, and do a wheel swap. So the last car that came with the 3-pack is this really nice 992 GT3. It's a straight up GT, not a GT3 RS. Beautiful color. The wheels are nice. Again, low end. But hey, does it really matter when you're getting this kind of detail, whether or not it's a premium? I don't think so. So speaking of wheel swaps, there's another small business that I'm working with. And it's not a partnership or anything. It's just I like to give shout outs. Yes, that's right. I said shout outs because that's not a lame word to say. It's always good to support other small, inspiring channels or businesses without feeling threatened that they're going to take your viewership. You should be confident in what you do. Anyway, HHW Customs, and some of you probably know of them. They sell custom wheels, and they're doing custom 3D printing as well. And I wanted to show you some of the ones that I was able to get during the Mother's Day special that he had. And I was only able to get some gold wheels, but the quality of the wheels are fantastic. Earlier, I stripped down this 996 Carrera Cabriolet, which looks a lot like my own personal car, and wanted to try out some new wheels. So I got the chromed gold ones as well as more of the bronze look to kind of give it to get an idea of what it looks like. But again, you just drilled out the base plate, swapped out the wheels, and even without a paint job, either one would look much better than the original wheel that was on the car. So yeah, HHW Customs, Hayden's Hot Wheel Customs, I think is what that is. His name is Hayden. And man, he's doing great. And here's some 3D printed, and I do some 3D printing myself, but I wanted to see what he's capable of doing. And this is really nice stuff. If you're watching this, Hayden, be sure to reach out to me and talk about getting a compound resin or a mixed hybrid resin to make it less fragile. This feels like it's just a straight up resin, and maybe you can get something more flexible mixed into it. But if you look closely, you can see the little shreds of paper. High resolution printer, whatever he's using, and it looks great. This is a palette. It looks great, but you can see it broke here. But it plays along with what you're trying to do, right? Which is show trash. So this works, but this is a broken piece, and it's breaking because the resin's too brittle. Very common. But anyway, this is meant to go inside of pickup trucks, right? To make it look like you're hauling cargo. So you just got to paint it, and then it'll start it'll start looking more realistic. All right, I got a couple more things to talk to you about. And one of them is the exotic envy cars that are coming out from Hot Wheels. And one in particular is the M1 Pro Car. I'm gonna do that again. The M1 Pro Car. And I showed this one off on my YouTube shorts and reels on Instagram. By the way, if you don't know, I'm on Instagram, the Yogi Collection on Instagram. I do a lot of YouTube shorts, but mainly reels because they give me 3 minutes instead of a minute to cram in what I have to say about some of these cars. But I cracked this guy open. Real Rider tires. The wheels are kind of okay. They almost look like they're just unpainted. And but the paint job and the livery, look at that. This is a BASF livery from back in I think the 80s or 70s. BASF is a chemical company. Yeah, this is the livery. So this is actually on a race car in real life, and it looks amazing. I think I'll put a picture of it right here, of the original. But that is a terrific casting. And then of course the Pagani Huayra that came out for the RLC Club. This is probably my favorite casting, and I got some smudges on it, but it still looks great. And cat fur. But this is a fantastic casting, and it's got you know, a removable engine cover. Look at that, and the detail, and the quad center tailpipes. I mean, this is fantastic. It looks great. I love this casting. It's one of my favorites. It didn't get a whole lot of views. I don't think people know what a Pagani is, maybe. But anyway, super awesome hypercar. Super great quality, man. Look at this. I love this thing. Pagani Huayra R, I think it is. All right, guys, before I let you go, I said I wanted to open this with you guys, and let's go ahead and do that now. I love Porsche. Not a lot of people have been watching my Porsche videos on my channel. In fact, I think I have less than 100. So I think I'm going to be changing the format on my channel because it's just not working. It almost feels like people are not really all that interested in learning about car culture history. It's all about the cars. And I feel like they almost don't want to know about where it comes from. And it kind of breaks my heart, but I can't commit time from my life to tell a story if no one's listening. So if you haven't seen my video, then please go and check it out so I can feel better about not getting the views that I need. All right, let's cut this open. I don't know if you guys have been following the news, but here in Houston, that's where I'm at, we had a tornado come through, and the tornado actually came within 2 miles or less of my house. And I got some really good video. I put it on Instagram, so be sure to check it out, of the tornadoes skirting by our house. But we had, I heard about 110 mile an hour winds to contend with, and you could tell in that video. All right, one already fell out. This is the 935, yet another. Here's another 935. Long tail. Now the difference is that this one here is the wider bodied one that I talked about on my Porsche video. This is the R version, I believe. So it's enhanced, it's wider, it's got a slopier nose, a ton more power, aerodynamic package, yada yada. This is it. Tailpipe doesn't look right though. Tailpipe is here. Wonder if there is a difference. All right, so that's the 935. Check out this speed yellow, man. Now, I don't know whether or not it's a true speed yellow, but it sure looks like it. But I love the arrows on the hood, the headlight detailing. Everything is where it should be. And look, this is a candidate for using this scraper here, right? To just come in there and go in one direction only, right? and dig enough till you start feeling it cut in, and just go across. Like that, right? Get it bare metal almost, and then drop a little droplet of that liquid. It'll seep into the seam and give you a nice dark line there, and it looks so much better. All your trim will look better. It'll look way more realistic. Look at that tail on this thing. Such great detailing. Good job, Hot Wheels. Great job. And this guy's completely enclosed. There we go. All metal. Oh, man, this is nice. You hear that? Look, it's playable. Look at that. Yes. It doesn't tip. Does it? Let me see. No, it doesn't, but you can make it work. I love it. I love playable features in these cars. Speaking of playable features, the Optimus Prime is coming out next week. Let me know if you guys are going to get it. I'm going to get it. It looks amazing. I grew up during that time, so I have some fond memories, but this is really nice. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, it fits. It fits a 911. How about a race car? Not quite. All right, now let's take a look at this guy here. The 917. The OG of the Porsche lineup when it comes to race cars. But dig this livery. So retro, and I do believe there was an actual livery with this color combination. But look at the base, man. That is a cobalt blue. And this is the Porsche 917 long heck for long tail. This thing was specifically designed for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's long-tailed, super aerodynamic to give you that downforce you need to get the speeds that you needed on the straights, especially the Mozon straight, where this thing could get up to 240 miles an hour, and that is in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. They're getting up to that speed. So beautiful, beautiful car, beautiful livery. You know, a little bit of some flaws here in the paint, but nothing too bad. It looks great. You can see the detail on the gas cap. It actually has a little twist handle and another one here, I think, or is that for the hood? Maybe it's for the hood. I don't know. Beautiful. So, you know, I do like these dioramas. They're kind of useful when you're doing photography. So I don't usually throw these away. But let's take a look at these one more time. So you've got the Transport Type 1 VW bus, the 911, the OG 911, the 935, and an awesome white livery, and then of course the 917 long heck. Does this fit on this thing? Yeah, barely, but it does. Let me see if I go around this way. No. So you're driving along the highway and then your car falls off the ramp. All right. But it certainly fits this guy here. See? Safe. All right. Cool. Well, there you go, guys. So like I said, check out HHW Customs Ignition Diecast, and we'll see you next time. And with that, the collection is closed.